Welcome, 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 welcome. 30 minutes of loveliness in our glutes as well as our core. So just take a moment and sit on the floor and cross your legs, or you can put your legs like however they feel most comfortable. Sit up tall so that the top of your head is reaching for the sky. And if this feels super uncomfortable for you, I actually will take one of my blocks. I always recommend we have 2 blocks. I like to take one of my blocks and just place it underneath my bum. And that lifts my butt up a little bit. So hands can just rest on your thighs. Close your eyes. Soften through your jaw just to allow there to be a little bit of space between the upper and the lower teeth. Good. Take your hands onto the sides of your ribs. And almost as though you're like coaxing. Just take your hands and push your ribs together. So you notice I'm not like forcing. I'm just kind of coaxing. I'm gently saying, you can move closer together. So this is going to help us sit stronger. Good, and just hold it there for a moment. Then try to keep that extra tension you now have in your abdominal area. Let your hands come down by your sides. Good. So now I want you to take that same kind of upper body feeling onto the floor. Once you get onto the floor, you're going to feel the back of your head. Just have your block nearby. You're going to need it. Have the back of your head flush to the floor. Have your shoulder blades flush to the floor. And then your sacrum flush to the floor. And your sacrum is the bone above your tailbone. Good. Just take your hands and place them wherever feels good for you right now. Keep your feet on the floor, so your knees should be bent. If at any time you feel knee pain, or really quite frankly any kind of pain, we back out of it. We don't stay and sit in the pain. We do, however, sit in discomfort of emotions, but that's a whole nother class. All right, so from here, I just want you to go ahead, push into your feet and lift up off of your sacrum. So now the shoulder blades and the head are still pushing into the ground. And then take your block and place your block underneath your sacrum. So now you're kind of just resting the back, that triangular bone, the sacrum, on the block. Now, if you're looking at my block, you notice it's on a little bit of a higher setting. So my hips are higher than my chest. Good. Now take your hands on your frontal hip points and start to massage those inwards. So we're just kind of doing some skin manipulation here to coax our body to start to really think about integrating through the core. When we integrate through the core, we actually integrate in all areas of our life. It's quite interesting. When we've got that fire in our belly, you guys have all heard that? Yeah, you can feel the fire up of that belly. Good. Now all I want you to do is start to lift and lower the legs, alternating right then left. Keep the knees at a 90-degree bend. Keep pulling the frontal hip points towards one another. And if you need to take your hands at any time and remind your body to do that work, you go right ahead. So this should not be easy. You shouldn't be there sipping your coffee on the park bench. But it also shouldn't be so super terrifyingly hard. So it should be somewhere in the middle there. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep both of your legs down. But now I want you to take the right hand to the sky and just take the left fingers and pull the right fingers back. Notice what's going on in your lower body if you've now all of a sudden let your back arch and your tummy go. You should still be pushing into that block. And as you push into the block with your sacrum, you can feel the abdominals tighten up. This is an important component for any movement, But especially when we're doing like conscious, intentional movement in exercise or in yoga, it's really important. Good. Let's just switch hands. Pulling back on the left fingers. Yes, 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 yes. Keep pushing down into the sacrum on that block. Feel what happens to the abdominals when you do that. Like I automatically feel this tension. That's because those are our deep transverse abdominal muscles working. Good. Go ahead, release the hands. Just give them a little bit of a shake. Yes. And then you're going to take the block out from underneath your sacrum and then just lower down. Good. Okay, so now just take the block and place it aside for a moment. Take the hands out to a goalpost or 90-90. This is also known as goddess arms. And all you're going to do is lift the right leg up and then put it down again. Lift the left leg up so you're bending it and put it down. Right leg up, put it down. Left leg up. Good. We're going to up the ante on this a little bit. So take the right leg up and now just slowly lower it to the ground, keeping your thigh nice and strong. The right thigh is squeezing. Put the leg all the way onto the floor and then scrape it back so that both feet are on the ground again. Let's try the left side. You lift the left leg up, lengthen it. Then we reach the leg away from us. And then scrape the heel and the bottom of the foot on the mat. We'll do one more of each of those. Lift the right leg up. Let it come down. Squeeze the thigh. Pull that leg back in. Last one. Lift up the left leg. Squeeze the thigh. Reach down. And then bring it back in. Now listen very carefully. We're going to do that same movement, but this time we're actually going to connect in and integrate in through our core. So now take your hands onto your ribs and just push inwards, feeling nice and tight and strong. Push down into your sacrum, almost like you have the block there before. Lengthen the right leg up. Notice the difference. As you lengthen the leg down towards that mat and then pull it in. Notice how pushing downwards into your sacrum lights up the core. One more time. Lift up the left, push downwards in the sacrum, and then pull the left foot back. Woo-hoo-hoo. So we feel a little bit warm in that belly. That's perfect. We want to feel that way. Keep the arms out to a T this time. Just take the knees and let them fall over towards the left side. Now, sometimes you might like your block for this. I sometimes will actually put the block right underneath my left thigh just to support it so it doesn't go as low. Now, as you let your knees fall over to the left, you're going to push into the right inner foot. And this ignites the glute. Yes. So really, we're just focusing on basics. Basic movement, intentional movement, brain movement. Come up and over to the other side. You may take the block and place it underneath the right thigh. Let the knees fall over. Push into the inner edge of the left foot. And you just notice, where do you feel this? So for me, I have a little opening in my thoracic area or my rib area too. And then, of course, in the front side of the left thigh. Good. Okay, so now from here, we're just going to come out of that. Flip over onto our hands and our knees. So once you get onto your hands and your knees, just take a minute to kind of see how the wrists feel. Pull the back of the head up. So you can almost imagine, when you were laying on your back like this, you can imagine that you're nice and straight along the back side of the body, just as though you're laying on the floor. Good. Bring your knees in just a ticky more. And then you're going to take the right leg and shoot it back nice and straight. Keep the hips facing the ground and then bring the knee in. So it's just like a little right leg goes out, right knee comes into your chest. What you don't do though is move your spine. Okay, so I just want you to move the leg at the hip. So you're actually just feeling your hip joint move. It's just moving forward and back. Yes, beautiful. Okay, put that knee down. Let's try the other side. Lengthen the left, then bring it in. So you notice I'm not doing anything glorious or Cirque du Soleil-like. I'm really just moving the hip joint. Yeah, I'm moving the bone. So that's the femur inside of the acetabulum, which is like the little nook that, or I should say, it's really actually a socket, but you could call it a nook, in the pelvis that the femur just kind of rolls around. Good. Couple more. Yeah. You got it. Last one. Good. Let's take the knees wide, grab our block, and just make it on its medium setting. We're going to come into child's pose, but this is like a really nice, easy child's pose. So you let the forehead rest on the block. Inhale. Open the mouth, let it out. One more time. Inhale. Open the mouth, let it out. Excellent. Okay, so get that block away. We're going to move into dolphin prep. We do dolphin in every class, so don't be shocked. So the forearms are down, interlace your fingers. Your knees are going to come in a little bit closer to your chest, but still on the ground. Now just kind of curve out the front side of your body. Push into the forearms onto the ground. So you actually almost feel like your front body's been scooped into your back body. And then when you're ready, just lift the knees up and the bum comes high. Now listen, even if you find this really difficult and you need to come out of it right away, you start somewhere, right? It's not like, oh, this is crap, I'm never doing it again. It's, let me start somewhere. Good, let's take one more breath there. Just breathing deeply, keep pulling the hips high, and then come on down. Whew. Nice. All right, come onto your hands and your knees, and then step up to the top of your mat. I like to have my blocks nearby. I don't use them every single class all the time, but it's really important because sometimes we need to bring the floor up to us. So come along, we're going to do something called Sun Cell 1. And Sun Cell 1 is really, it's in every single class, and it's really just to warm our body a little bit more. So I'm going to actually use the blocks for it today. You can use the blocks or not. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, take your fingertips, stick them right where we were, you know, when we were marching earlier like this? Yeah, stick them right in that crease and then tip from the hips. Hands come onto the blocks of the floor. The right foot steps back, drop the knee down and the top of the foot. Inhale, lift your hands high. Now you're going to notice here, my feet, my legs are quite close together. So this sweeping kind of lunge thing is really beautiful, but we're not doing that today. Okay, we're doing a nice tight lunge. So bring your back knee in a little bit. Good, the top of the back foot is on the ground. Hands come onto the blocks, flatten the blocks so they're a little bit lower. Push back into plank, or of course you can do all fours like I'm doing. And then you're just gonna lower to the floor. The only rule I have is don't lower your shoulders first. So you're here, I want you to lower down, you can touch your belly first, whatever you like first, but not your shoulders. Now we're going to come into baby cobra. Lift the chest up, drag the hands back. Good, light up the back side of the body. Nice, as you come back up, through to downward facing dog, just lift your bum high. And then you're going to walk the feet in a little bit. Take the right foot behind the hands. Do you see how much nicer that is to have the blocks there? Yeah. Drop the back knee down in the top of the foot. Inhale, lift your hands high. So really thinking about tightening up, again, through the core. We're really sitting into this, connecting inwards. Beautiful. Hands come down onto the blocks, and then the back foot steps forward. We'll do one more like that with a little change. Inhale, reach your hands forward and up. As you exhale, fingers go into the creases, bend your knees, hands on blocks or floor. Take the left foot, step it back, drop the knee. Keep the toes curled under the left foot. Reach the hands high, and then bring your arms into that goal pose. So that's that, just like this, yeah. So 90-90, that's a goal post, or it's also called goddess arms. Oh, or cactus also. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, hands come down. You can push back into plank, like I'm doing, or all fours. Lower the knees, lower the rest of the body, but don't let the shoulders drop down. Blocks go off to the side, find baby cobra. Drag the hands back. Blocks come back in, push back up through your knees to downward facing dog. Walk your feet in a little bit. The left foot comes behind the hands. Drop the back knee down, keep the toes curled under. Reach your hands high to the sky. Pulling the belly in, the center in. Good. Come into your cactus arms or goalpost arms. Good. Hands come onto the blocks. The back foot comes forward. Okay, so we're going to move on to a sequence. Inhale, reach your hands forward and up. As you exhale, fingers go into the creases, tip from the hips. Good. Hands onto the blocks. I want you to take the right leg back and take the block and put it under that right knee as you drop the right knee down. You can keep the other block there. So just notice how this feels here. Now, if you don't have a block, you can do this on the floor, but whenever I'm starting something like new with my body, I like to just pat it. So a block is great, or a towel or something. Good. From here, I just want you to give your right butt cheek a little bit of a poke to make sure it's working. And then just spin the knee so now it faces the long edge of your mat. So this other foot is out, okay, and this knee is facing the long edge of your mat. So here we are. This is called grounded warrior. Hands on hips, and you're just going to rock front and back. And when I say front, I mean towards the left knee. Yes. And then kind of back. So towards the front of the mat and the back of the mat. Good. And just see how that feels. I know it's pretty nice, hey? Now I want you to stop and just take the left forearm onto the left thigh and reach that right arm up and over. Now this is an important piece. I want you to think about letting the left ear come towards the left shoulder. Yes, good. All right, now this is super crazy. You're going to actually turn to the back of your mat. So you'll just turn both knees to the back of your mat and get rid of the block, putting it up towards the end of your mat. Good. So now you're on both hands and both knees. We'll do some cat-cows here. Inhale, chin, chest, and tailbone lifts. Exhale, curve under. Let's do two more. Inhale. And exhale. Feel how good that feels. Good. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Curve under. So I like to have both of my blocks for this next piece. Take both of your blocks under your hands, or you can do it with your hands on the ground and lift up to downward facing dog. And then all I want you to do is bend your legs a bit like you're sitting in a chair. So keep lifting up through the belly, but just bend and straighten those legs. And they don't have to like straighten a lot, just a little bit is fine. Now I want you to palm the blocks, so hang on to the blocks. Stop bending and straightening your legs and just start to walk the blocks back to your feet. Good. You can put the blocks on the higher setting if you like. And just hang here. So knees are bent, hips are flexed, and ankles are flexed. This is called a triple flexion squat. You see it a lot in my classes. Inhale and exhale. And it really just allows the entire fascia in the back body to release. So that probably feels pretty good for you. If you wanted to, you could put your hands on the ground. It doesn't matter to me. My hands like to be on these blocks. Beautiful. And now leave the blocks down there, and I just want you to stand up. But as you stand up, sit into your Utkatasana. So this Utkatasana you'll also see in my classes. You can reach the hands up or forward or right by your hips. Beautiful. Yes, and then sink a little bit lower and pull the belly in together. Nice. Okay, we're going to get crazy. We're going to go back to that down dog. So hands come onto the blocks, palm the blocks, or your hands can be on the ground. Come to your downward facing dog. Whew. And I know it seems like it should be so easy, but like I'm breathing heavy. I'm hot. Good. Let's start to sit back with our glutes and our butt. Keep the belly in, keep the arms strong. 4 more. 2. Good. Walk the hands back and come into that, it's called high happy squat. It's a triple flexion squat. So as you hang there, let all of the fascia in the back part of your body just loosen. So I can feel it go all the way from like the backs of my thighs, up my glutes, into my back and my upper back. Good. Leave your blocks down, come into your Utkatasana, sitting. Whew. Beautiful. And then stand up. Give yourself like a little bit of a wiggle. Because you got to wiggle a little bit. Okay, we're going to do the other side. You ready? All right, so I'm going to have the blocks nearby because I like them. Take a big inhale, reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, fingers go into the hip creases, tip from the hips. Good. Now, as you take that left foot behind you, take the block, place the block under the left knee. Good. Reach the hands up. Here comes this beautiful, it's like a half kneel. We did this all the time, again, when we were kids, and then we just stopped doing it as we get older. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Beautiful. You can bring the hands into that goalpost just for a moment to feel that chest opening. Now you're going to go ahead, pivot the left knee outwards so that now you're facing that other long edge of your mat. The right foot is still facing the front, hands on the hips, and you're just going to rock towards the front of your mat, the short end, and the back of your mat. So we are really methodical, right? We're opening up the body in a variety of ways. Very nice. We'll do 4 more. 3, you can feel your muscles working. You can feel them heating up. Last one. Now you're going to keep the right elbow or forearm on the right thigh and lift that left arm up and over. This is like a real nice lateral bend or side bend. See how good that feels. Take 1 more deep breath. Remember to let that right ear go towards the right shoulder. Yep. Looks good. Okay, now you're going to come up. The right knee comes in. We're turning all the way to the back of the mat. And we just do it carefully. We move slowly. Just take the block, set it aside. We'll do some cat-cows. Tuck the back toes, tuck the toes under. Good, and curve up. Good, 2 more. Inhale. Oh, feel the freedom in your body. Even though we're going slow, we're really being methodical. Good, last one. Nice. Now I like my blocks for this. So I'm going to grab my blocks as I come into downward facing dog. And we'll do the squat or the little sit. So sit the bum and up. Sit and up. Sit. Yeah, there you go. Pull the belly in. Last one. And then you're going to walk the hands in with your blocks, so you'll palm the blocks and just hang here in your triple flexion squat. So this is flexed at the ankles, flexed at the knees, flexed at the hips. We're opening up through the fascia in the upper back. 1 more breath in, and as you open your mouth, let it out. Oh yeah, that feels good. All right, let's go back into our downward facing dog. So walk the hands back, and you might not have blocks, and that's fine too. Then we're going to bend. Good. So it's like a little sitting, and your thighs might start to burn. Your arms too. Good. Keep going. 4 more. 3. Whew. Nice. Last one. You're going to walk the hands in. Here it is. We're going to sit, bend, and straighten. Good. So I added this little bend and straighten here just to see how it feels. Ooh. And then we're going to come into the Utkatasana. Oh, sit. Reach the arms forward or on your hips, whatever you like. Whew, good work. All right, stand tall. And all I want you to do is just a few of these shoulder rolls. So these shoulder rolls are just rolling. Yes. Going to the back. All right. So we're going to go through the sequence one more time, but in a shorter version. And I'm going to go a little bit faster so you kind of get the gist of it. All right. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. As you exhale, tip from the hips. Take the right foot back. Drop the knee down. Inhale, reach your hands high. Go ahead, take a quarter turn to the right, pivot on that knee. We're going to rock front to back. Stop the rock, left elbow onto the left thigh, reach up and over. Now you're going to turn to the back, drop both knees down, and this time instead of a cat-cow, we're just going to go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So you see repetition is our friend. Hoist the hips up to downward facing dog. Walk the hands all the way back to the feet. High happy squat, bend the knees and straighten. Nice little, good. Come into your Utkatasana. Woo. Hands on hips. Go ahead, stand tall. Turn around, one more round. Inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, tip from the hips. Left foot goes back, drop the knee down. Inhale, lift your hands up. And then we're going to do a quarter turn to the left. Rocking front to back. So this move is called a grounded warrior. You could also call it a floorier. Like floorier. Okay, enough of that. Go ahead, take the right arm, put it on the thigh, and just reach up and over, and then we're going to go all the way onto our hands and our knees at the back of the mat. Cat-cow. This time, chin, chest, and tailbone lifts, and then curve under. One more time. Yes. Lift your bum up for downward facing dog. Bend and straighten the legs. Good. Stop that. Walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Bend the knees and straighten. Good. Let that fascia just be kind of manipulated. And then we sit into our Utkatasana. So after these classes, you guys, one more breath. It feels like a good massage. Very good. And then we release. Shoulder roll. So you can find your way onto your back. Keep rolling the shoulders. And just find yourself back in that Shavasana position. As you get back there, I want you to notice that there's newfound freedom. So whether you move for like half an hour or an hour, whether you do an advanced class or a beginner class, the result is really the same. We open up. So I want you to take a moment to just notice how your body feels. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and exhale. Inhale. Open your mouth and exhale. So you stay there for as long as you like. Just basking in the beauty of your body. Noticing how good it feels to do the work. To sit nice and tall and strong and to be integrated. I want you to know that the love, the light, and the kindness in me recognizes the love, the light, the kindness